Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the August 22nd, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm Caleb Black, this is Luke the Big Dog Williams, and our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury, to our left. It's time for the pay-per-view pre-show, SummerSlam.
The one that counts.
The one that counts, guys. We're doing a contest for every major WWE pay-per-view, not NXT, not AEW, not Impact, none of those, only the WWE Raw and SmackDown marquee pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania, where the winner has accumulated the most points by calling matches correctly, gets to pick a stipulation for the loser. The end of the contest takes place WrestleMania weekend, and right now we are tied, neck and neck, at 7-7. So the only points that we count are the matches we call differently.
I'd like to point out the video that was announced for this is not posted.
Right.
So, I'm going to reiterate, there was some discussion over the swamp fight. I called the ending of the match, but I gave a prediction.
Right.
So, I have been granted a mulligan.
It's true. It gets a mulligan.
Anytime I want to use one. To gain a point back.
Yep.
So, that might happen.
Or it might not.
Or it might not happen.
Might just sit.
I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket.
We're going to get right into it. Let's start it off. Luke, for the WWE Raw Tag Team titles, the Street Profits or Andrade and Garza?
Man, see, that's tough. Because I really don't care either way. I'm more of a Vikings Raiders kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm going to go with the Profits to keep them.
See, and I am going to go with Andrade and Garza. I think we're going to see the titles change hands, and I think if they don't, then we really got no more storyline with this particular group.
Correct.
For the United States Championship, Apollo Crews or MVP? That's a hard one, too.
I'm going to go Apollo Crews, only because he just won the title back.
So am I, and I think that him not having it...
not having the group with him...
Yeah, I think that...
Because, they're just going to come down anyway, so... Yeah, totally. It's got to be Apollo Crews.
Sasha Banks versus Asuka.
Asuka.
I, too, am saying Asuka. Bayley versus Asuka.
Asuka.
I, too, am saying Asuka. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a loser leaves WWE match.
Gonna go Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Mandy Rose as well. We're not so far. We've only called one match. We ain't
got to the ones that are important yet.
Here we go. All right. Dominic Guerrero versus Seth Rollins.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Because there are two schools of thought. It's
a street fight.
You put Dominic over and bring him in strong, or do you put Seth over and keep the storyline going?
Or you put Seth over and it furthers the Ray angle.
Right. It's a hard call to make.
Being a street fight, kids coming out in gear. I'm gonna go Dominic. I've got to go Dominic. He's just too strong not to. And you need a good pop. I've got to go Dominic. If Seth beats him, it'll feel like this whole thing's been for nothing. He ain't even got to beat him clean. He's just got to beat him. And with a street fight, it does favor Dominic, believe it or not.
He's a Guerrero. It definitely looks in his favor.
And he's undefeated at SummerSlam.
He is undefeated at SummerSlam. I just checked that to make sure you're right. He is undefeated at SummerSlam.
You're both
Think about it, though. He's undefeated at SummerSlam.
It's not how being undefeated works.
Sure it is. He contributed to Rey Mysterio beating Eddie Guerrero, therefore he is undefeated at SummerSlam. And at Mania. And at the Rumble, and every other pay-per-view, because it's a kid's first match. Therefore, he is undefeated.
I think I'm going to take the opposite side. I think I'm going to say Seth.
And if I lose that, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to use my mulligan.
I think Seth fucks him. And
Jesus Christ, man. What kind of pay-per-view do you think this is going to be?
The one that cost me $14.99?
You really think Guerrero let him fuck him?
No. I think it's going to be Seth.
If it was the other Ray Kid, maybe.
Oh, get out of here. All right. For the SmackDown Universal World Heavyweight Championship, the champion, Braun Strowman, defends against The Fiend.
Going Fiend. Now, I'm not necessarily saying The Fiend's going to win the title, but I'm going The Fiend. Only because I think Alexa Bliss is going to play a really huge part in this.
So do I.
And with all the Tron, the LED boards and stuff, there'll be a lot of stuff being messed with. Gotta go The Fiend. I think that SummerSlam is going to be a reset button.
I don't know who. It's so hard.
Max, stop it.
Because The Fiend doesn't need the title. And neither does Braun specifically.
I would rather Braun not have the title.
But they can do so much more with this Alexa Bliss angle. And for that, they need Braun Strowman to be the buffer. So for that reason alone, I think I have to say Strowman. I think Alexa's going to come out and fuck the Fiend out of the belt.
I see where you're going with everything, but I think it's just the opposite. I think that Bliss is going to play a role in the chink of the armor of Braun Strowman. And he's going to let his guard down. The Fiend's going to beat him.
I don't know.
Because then you've got him chasing Alexa Bliss and the Fiend.
And for our actual main event, Drew McIntyre defends the WWE Championship against Randall Keith Orton. Luke, who you got?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton as well. I think it's time.
Now, with all of that stated, I'm going to state the elephant in the room. If the Money in the Bank briefcase is to be cashed in,
yeah,
I'm going with Otis regardless.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if it gets cashed in, you're going to get a pop. Yeah. It's going to work.
Also, this card is entirely subject to change. Should it change, so can our choices and our selections. And we'll explain that in the follow-up video should that happen. If matches get added, we make quick selections. However, right now, we only got 3 points up for grab.
Yes.
3 points for SummerSlam.
The 3 main events.
It's Street Profits and Andrade. No, because we both agree on Orton.
That's right.
Dominic and Seth, Strowman and The Fiend. So we got 3 points between us.
Which means one of us
is going to be 10-7.
Or
tomorrow.
Or
9-7 tomorrow.
We could tie.
Or we could tie. Or you could use your
mulligan. With my mulligan, we could tie
yeah.
if I was to lose one.
Yeah, because we're 7-7 now, we could both. One of us could be 8, or we could be 9-8, and then your mulligan, if I was ahead, could take that out. Or you could be ahead 8-9, or 7-9, or
yeah, I could go up 3 as well.
Yeah.
It's anybody's game.
It's anybody's game tomorrow. So
also, before we wrap up, we need to point out that there is yet another pay-per-view taking place that will count as well next weekend.
Payback, which we'll do that pre-show for that Saturday.
We do it now, but there's no matches announced.
When we do the post-show for this and TakeOver next Saturday as well, and we'll have a Dynamite to review. So next Saturday is going to be a long day.
Guys! Hang on. We got a few minutes left here. I don't know if you realize, this is the 32nd SummerSlam, and it falls on the exact date. The very first SummerSlam was August 29th. Tomorrow's date, 1988.
Oh, wow!
So it's an exact anniversary for SummerSlam.
That's kind of awesome.
29th?
So say 29th next week.
Tomorrow's
I'm sorry, I'm a week off.
Well, Idiot! Ha! No. All right, guys.
I mean,
yes, this is a big one.
So 32.
Go back and do some looks at the past SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We're actually about to do that for them. In this next segment, let me find it, when we talk a little bit about the history of wrestling,
Yes.
It's going to involve quite a bit of SummerSlam info. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. Send us a message on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. And stay tuned for Today in Wrestling History coming up next. Woo!